Common Assessment 2. Read French Toast before answering the questions that follow. French Toast by Sandy Capel. Are you tired of having the same old toast for breakfast? If so, there is another kind of toast called French toast. People began making French toast as a way to use stale bread. By dipping old bread into an egg mixture, the bread becomes soft. When bread is hard to come by, this recipe helps families use their day-old bread. It has also taken on a sort of gourmet status. Cooks around the world use all kinds of bread to make this dish. Whether you are feeling gourmet or just having some old bread to get rid of, French toast is easy to make and yummy to eat. You try it. Your supplies: 6 slices of white bread, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of milk, wide, shallow bowl, fork and spatula, butter, frying pan, and maple syrup. Your directions: crack 2 eggs in a bowl. Add the cinnamon and milk to the eggs. Beat the mixture together with your fork. Heat your frying pan using medium-low heat. Put a bit of butter into the pan. Move the butter around so that it coats the bottom of the pan. Once the butter starts to sizzle, you are ready to start. Take a slice of bread and dip it into the mixture. Make sure each side of the bread has an even coating. Place the bread into the frying pan. Let each side toast for 15 to 25 seconds or until golden brown. After each side is done, place your French toast on a plate. Pour maple syrup on your French toast and start eating. Use French toast to answer questions 1 through 6. Number 1. What does the word coats mean as it is used in step 2 of the directions section? A. Covers, B. Hides, C. Stains, or D. Smears. Number 2. In paragraph 2, the word recipe means a F. Notes taken, G. Group of complicated steps, H. A menu to order from, or J. Set of directions with supplies. Number 3. Which would be the best way to move the butter around the pan as required by step 2 of the directions section? A. By using the bread, B. By mixing the butter with the syrup, C. By mixing the butter with the milk, or D. By using your fork. Number 4. Which of the following supplies from the list would most likely be used in steps 4 and 5 of the directions section? F. Bowl, G. Syrup, H. Spatula, J. Napkin. Number 5. The reader can infer that the author wrote this section for which reason? A. To teach the reader a different way of making toast, B. To help the reader become more useful in the kitchen, C. To get the reader to stop throwing out their old bread, or D. To show the reader how to cook like the French do. Number 6. Which is the most likely reason the author includes the You Try It section? F. To show readers how cooks make their famous dishes, G. To show readers how hard the French work in the kitchen, H. To show readers why breakfast is an important meal, or J. To show readers how to make their own French toast. Read Little Things before answering the questions that follow. Little Things by Cassie Howard. Lena watched enviously as the woman bounced all around the TV screen. The woman had just won $50,000 and was beside herself with joy. "Nothing big and exciting ever happens to me," Lena whined as she left to prepare for bed. "Life stinks," she thought as she drifted off to sleep. A few hours later, Lena was awakened by the sound of tiny little voices calling her name. She looked all around before finally discovering the source of the squeaks. 3 wee little elves stood at the foot of her bed. Lena wanted to scream, but when she saw the middle elf do a back flip, a giggle slipped out instead. "Why are you here?" she whispered. "To remind you of the value of little things," squeaked back one of the elves. "It's the little things in life that make you happy." He punctuated the end of his sentence with a spin and splits. Number 5. Then just like that, they were gone. The little things, Lena gurgled, as she went back to sleep. When she awoke a few hours later, she hardly remembered the elves. She trudged into the kitchen and smiled when she noticed her cereal bowl was decorated with her favorite cartoon. Later she grinned as she tied her rainbow-colored shoelaces. She burst into giggles on the way to the bus stop when she saw a bird severely scolding a squirrel who had ventured too close to her nest. By the time the bus driver greeted her with his usual "What's the story, Morning Glory?" she was ready to do her own splits and backflip. That corny greeting normally prompted an eye roll. "I've been so busy waiting for something big and exciting to happen," she thought to herself, "I haven't taken the time to notice the little things that are happening all around me." For the rest of the day, indeed for the rest of her life, Lena never failed to grin, smile, or giggle at the little things that make life a little more exciting. Use little things to answer questions 7 through 13. Number 7. Which can the reader conclude is the theme of this story? A. Find happiness in little things. B. Laughter is the best medicine. C. Winning isn't everything. Or D. Money is the key to happiness. Number 8. Read this sentence from paragraph 4. He punctuated the end of his sentence with a spin and splits. The author's use of figurative language in this sentence indicates that the elf, F, finishes his sentence without a period. G flips and does splits while he speaks. H does a flip and splits after he finishes speaking. Or J uses punctuation marks that look like a spin and splits. How does Lena laughing at the elves foreshadow the story's resolution? A. They help her sleep so she is not grumpy the next day. B. She learns to appreciate the little things in her life. C. They help to fulfill her wish of leading an exciting life. Or D. She realizes that money is not the most important thing. Number 10. What happens first in the story? F. Lena goes to sleep. G. Lena watches TV. H. Lena sees a bird and squirrel. Or J. Lena sees elves. Number 11. Why does Lena think life stinks as she drifts off to sleep? A. She knows she has to get up and go to school in the morning. B. She does not win the $50,000 like the woman on television. C. She is afraid of the little elves that visit her at night. Or D. She feels like nothing big or exciting ever happens to her. Number 12. Look at the chart. Lena complains after seeing a woman win money on TV. Then we go to a blank. And then Lena smiles as she notices the little things. Which of the following belongs in the empty box? F. Lena is greeted by her bus driver. G. Lena is visited by elves in her sleep. H. Lena does flips and splits in her sleep. Or J. Lena dreams of winning lots of money. Number 13. Which of these best summarizes the story? A. Lena thinks nothing big or exciting ever happens in her life. One night she is awakened by 3 elves. They remind her of the value of the little things. From that day on, Lena grins, smiles, and giggles at all the little things that make her life more exciting. B. Lena goes to bed upset because she has no excitement in her life. She awakens to find 3 elves at the foot of her bed. The elves promise to bring her some excitement. Strange things start to happen, and Lena begins to enjoy her new exciting life. C. Lena is sad because nothing exciting ever happens. One night while she sleeps, 3 elves creep into her bedroom and wake her. They tell her about the exciting things yet to happen in her life. Lena wakes in the morning and cannot wait to start a new day. D. Lena is envious of the woman who wins $50,000 on TV. She goes to bed grumbling about how boring her life is. She dreams of 3 elves who visit her in the night. Each elf does spins and splits, and Lena now has an exciting life. Read the next 2 selections, then answer the questions that follow. Extreme Sports Star by Jennifer Quintana. The roar of the concrete under my wheels, the summer breeze in my hair. I kick my leg rapidly, then jump a curb, catching air. I sway my body back and forth, careful not to lean too far. I zoom directly toward the ramp, just like an extreme sports star. I quickly climb the steep, sloping ramp, and think about a first-place award. Before I know it, I've nailed a perfect landing. Wow, I rock on my skateboard. The Angel Hawk by Flip Jefferson. A Difficult Childhood. Tony Hawk was no angel when he was a kid, but he is now. When he was in elementary school, he was self-described demon boy. His brothers and sisters were all much older, so Tony had few outlets for his energy. He was hyperactive and high-strung. He wanted to succeed at every sport he tried. When he didn't, he was very hard on himself. He often would run away and hide. The Turning Point. Tony Hawk received his first skateboard at the age of 9. His brother gave it to him. Tony wasn't popular in school and didn't have many friends. His brother hoped the skateboarding would interest him. The year was 1977. Tony went on to become the greatest skateboarder in the history of the sport, winning 5 X Games titles. He also started a successful skating career company and started a video game. He quit competing in 1999 after landing the first ever 900, which is 2.5 mid-air spins on the board. Helping others. Skateboarding had changed Tony's life. Now he wanted to change other kids' lives, so he started the Tony Hawk Foundation to help fund public skate parks around the nation. His foundation doesn't just give money to groups who want skate parks. It works with skaters to get their projects done while changing the image of the sport in their communities. By teaching them to work with local governments, the foundation helps young skaters learn that adults can be cool sometimes. Adults learn that skaters aren't criminals. The community benefits through the trust that is built during the process. And in the end, there's a public skateboarding park that everyone worked to build. The Angel. Tony Hawk probably wouldn't think it is cool to be called an angel, but that's what he is, an angel investor. Angel investors are people who fund projects when banks won't. His foundation has made contributions to over 500 skate park projects in the last decade. Tony Hawk may still be a demon on his skateboard, but he is an angel to thousands of skaters across our nation. Use Extreme Sports Star to answer questions 14 through 17.